Hmm. All right. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football School. We're gonna look at my top 24 Dynasty ranking. Post combine, a lot of movements. Not really in the tier 1, top 7. Think that remains unchanged, but a lot of risers. Just gonna go in the late first, especially at running back. And those second, third tier receivers solidifying themselves, but anyways, this is gonna be a 12 in terms of 12-10 team superflex tight end premium format. So without further ado, let's go with the 101. It's gonna be Caleb Williams, obviously, until proven otherwise. He should be the pick for the Bears. That's what all the reports are projecting. Still number 2 for me, Marvin Harrison. This is essentially very cookie cutter at this point. I mean, the top 7 very interchangeable right now. 3, I still have Drake May, although a lot of reports coming out that he might not be as polished as I thought he was gonna be, and that a lot of teams prefer or were surprised that he's not as pro ready and he might slide past Jaden Daniels, but it's basically smoke screen season, so a lot of these stocks happen with CJ Stroud last draft, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is just smoke screen, but hey, who knows. And then 4, since this is a super flex, I'm still gonna go with Jaden Daniels, although it's very concerning that he didn't weigh. He didn't even get measured. Literally, he didn't do anything at the combine. He just showed up and did interviews, which is fine, but I mean, that's kind of a red flag. But I mean, you can see him on tape how much, how tall he is comparative to other players, so it's not that big of a secret. It's just kind of weird. And then right now, 105, Malik Neighbors. Honestly, a lot of these are interchangeable depending on who you prefer or how your team build is, but in a vacuum, this is what I have right now, because I'm assuming these 3 quarterbacks gonna go top 5. Neighbors and Harrison, although they will go top 5, top 8. Quarterback just worth so much more in Superflex. So 106. So initially I had Brock Bowers, but man, Rome killed it at the combine. I expected him to run as good as he did and perform as good as he did, but knowing that he did it compared to Brock Bowers, who actually didn't even do anything. Well, he was there, but he didn't test, so that's definitely a small knock, especially because a lot of mock drafts has Bowers falling, especially now because Joe Alt performed pretty well, and Alt is pretty much locked in at 5. And if the Chargers don't take Bowers at 5, he could fall all the way to 15, 16, 18 to the Bengals. So this is the first tier break, but it looks like it's gonna be. There's a lot of smoke screen with JJ McCarthy going top 10 now. Initially, I had him. His floor was number 8 with the Falcons, but I've been seeing after the combine that he might go number 6 with the Giants, which is crazy to me. Doesn't make sense. Why would you draft a quarterback when your offense is terrible with weapons and O-line, and you're gonna throw another quarterback in there without any help? It's just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, but hey, I'm not a GM. But anyways, right here, my rankings for the actual NFL draft, I have AD Mitchell as my wide receiver 4. I'm gonna stick to that, although AD Mitchell and Brian Thomas Jr. are pretty much neck and neck as the next player here in everyone's draft board. I just Brian Thomas has more production, and pretty much that's my tiebreaker here. At least most people prefer Brian Thomas because he did produce in college. His statistical profile is much better than AD Mitchell, but right now at this moment in time, AD Mitchell is a more polished route runner, and I think although they have the same ceiling, I think AD is much further in that reaching that ceiling because of his route running skills. But like I said, they're pretty even in terms of, you know, potential, so pretty much whichever one you want. I think AD is like younger, like 6 months younger. That's another tiebreaker for me, but hey, we're just splitting hairs at this point. And then 110 is JJ McCarthy. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if JJ is the 108 in most people's draft because he is a quarterback and he will probably get top 10. If he does get top 10 draft capital and AD and Thomas gets just top 20, JJ McCarthy might even overtake Brock Bowers, honestly. But anyways, this is essentially the next tier break. Like the top 10, these in my opinion is like the elite tier. Anyone after this is just a bunch of preference, like middle tier, honestly. But so this, I struggle on this one. I do have, there was a lot of fallers because of like terrible testing numbers. So right now, took me a while to figure this out, but Lad McConkey is my 110. Oh man, I didn't I can't filter by position because I unintentionally just picked Superflex. But Lad McConkey tested pretty well. Size is pretty good. He's probably gonna get early round 2 draft capital. He helped himself at the combine, but not a lot. He just proved that he is fast and he should be taken at least late first round. Then right here is Xavier Worthy because speed kills, and if for some reason, you know, he goes to Buffalo or possibly the Chiefs, which is everyone is mocking, he's definitely gonna shoot up. Some people will probably take him over AD and Brian Thomas because he will be tied to Mahomes. So I mean, it's not a terrible take, but we've been burned before with Sky Moore, with most recently, what's his name, Kadarius Toney. But that wasn't a draft pick, that was just great position, great quarterback, but he's just a terrible NFL player at this point. So this is where my running backs go. I still have Jonathan Brooks RB1, although depending on draft capital and landing spot, Trey Benson, Blake Corum might overtake. I still have Blake Corum RB2 because he didn't disappoint at the combine. He showed that, you know, he got that agility, that lateral quickness enough, and he is fast enough. He ran a 4.5. He didn't like disappoint like, what's his name, Estime, who ran a 4.7. So he's definitely off my first 3 rounds. Honestly, he's probably just gonna be a plotter, like a worse version of AJ Dillon last season, and AJ Dillon last season was very bad. Then here's Trey Benson. These three running backs are interchangeable. They're all in the same tier for me. And then next one, I do like Bo Nix here, and then Michael Penix. I think they're gonna get, didn't really go crazy at the combine, but also didn't disappoint. I expect them to get late first, early second draft capital like I had pre-combine. So nothing's changed there, but this is where it gets pretty wild because Sanders, terrible. I would have taken him here pre-combine, but he honestly, like, he didn't test bad, but the expectation was so high that his RAS score was like an 8 and everybody expected like a 9 point plus, and fortunately he ran pretty bad, especially because he's kind of small, like under 6'3". Yeah, under 6'4", so not a good size in terms of, you know, elite producer at that position. Historically, a lot of elite tight end ones are 6'4" and taller, although Sam Laporta I think barely cracked 6'4", so he still has his tape's still good. It's just, you know, he didn't help himself at the combine. Honestly, he should have tested if that was the expectation of his testing numbers, but Bucky Irving, wow, he's not in my top 24 anymore. He was my RB3, RB2, depending on what you want on your running back. But man, he's like Jatavian Sanders, but way worse. I think his RAS score was like a 3 or a 2. He's undersized. He's tested very slow. And like, if it wasn't for, I don't know if he did any agility drills, but it's just all bad. Honestly, I think I had a second, like late second grade on him. Probably like a like a day 3 pick now, honestly, with that testing. But his tape's still good, so. But I mean, he's supposed to be quick, he's supposed to be fast, and that was just a bad day, honestly. But right here, another good performer at the combine. I had I think mid-second grade on Xavier Legette, so have him here. And then Troy Franklin and Keon Coleman looked bad in terms of his 40, but everyone expected him to not be that fast. But no one expected him to be that slow either. But like, everyone's pointing to his gauntlet drill, which he dominated. So if anything, it's a wash. He's still only 20. He still has elite size, and his game speed is still. Just gotta watch the tape, man. His tape's still good, so he didn't move up or down in my board, honestly. A person that actually moved really. All right, someone that moved up on my board is where's that running back? Where is he? No, where'd he go? Running back from Tennessee. Jalen Wright, where are you, bro? Alright, let me type it out. Jalen Wright. Alright, so Jalen Wright's now my RB4. He was my RB5B with Brandon Allen. But with Bucky Irving shitting the bed at the combine. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Some people have him like RB2, RB3. I still think Benson and Corum are better pure running backs than Jalen Wright. Although Jalen Wright probably has more potential, so I can see why people have him as RB2, especially the way he tested at the combine. But yeah, let's move on here. Another riser for me is Ricky Pearsall. So he's tested pretty well, although not as like him and what's his name, Troy Franklin had similar 40 time, if I remember correctly. But Franklin was supposed to smash, like run a 4.3, so he disappointed. His tape's still good, everything's still good, just he didn't run as fast as everyone thought he would. So it's like a slight knock, probably like half a round knock. I think I had a mid-second, so like I'm expecting him to be a late second NFL draft pick now, possibly. And then Montez Walker, who had my, I think, number 7 pre-Senior Bowl, and now at the Senior Bowl he was terrible. But now, I mean, we knew he was fast, so he just got to work on his hands. But there's gonna be a lot of players, so I'm probably gonna do a top 30 here. because I can't leave some of these players out. So right now I still have Jatavian although he's tested pretty bad, I still think he's gonna get top like round 2 draft capital, late round 2. So maybe should have taken him at 212 here, but hey. Another riser, not really a riser, but with his Senior Bowl and his combine, Roman Wilson should be in that late second, early third conversation now. And then Braylon Allen, he didn't do anything, but I still like his potential, his size. Although, you know, he chickened out at the combine, he still has that build that you want in like a running back. And then Estime, terrible. Oh, these are just risers here. Johnny Wilson ran faster than I thought he would. He still has a lot of work to do, but he showed that he's not slow. And Marshawn Lloyd tested pretty well. He's probably overtaken Bucky Irving at this point. Then what's his name? Theo Johnson. Like, honestly, I'm just throwing him up here because he tested really well at the combine. 6'6", 260, ran a 4.57. Not a lot of 6'6" players runs that. Like, this is probably like overhyping him a little bit, but I think he's gonna be a 3rd round pick. His floor is gonna be, I mean, ceiling's 3rd round pick. Initially had a 6th round pick because I think he was gonna run this fast. But with his limited production, he showed he can play, and then his athletic testing, a lot of tight ends that has produced in the league is this size and this fast. So you just need to, you know, although he's gonna be 23 when drafted, not a lot of room for improvement, but hey, Dalton Kincaid was 23 when I got drafted. So anyways, Taz, I still love at this. I can't quit him, yes. And then let's do a couple more here. Another riser. Where did he go? Garendo. I don't think he's gonna get more than a top, like a round 4. I don't think he's gonna go higher than round 4, but man, he said this so well as an athlete that someone's gonna take a chance on him, like late 3rd, early 4th kind of situation. Then Malachi Corley, good size, good speed. I think that's it. What is this? 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31. So this is my post combine dynasty rankings as of right now. Actually, let's throw in Spencer Rattler here. He had a terrible testing, but I still like him as a late 2nd, early 3rd prospect that can develop because he has the tools that a lot of NFL teams covet. So he's probably gonna be a sit a couple years, and if for some reason gets an opportunity, he could surprise. But that's my current ranking for my dynasty prospects. A lot's gonna change because of the combine. I mean, the combine free agency. Actually, let's finish this off just because. Let's do 3 rounds. Burton had a good testing. Jalen Polk tested pretty well. And then I should add another Jamari Thrash. I liked him coming out. He's gonna be one of my deep sleeper here. I did like Brendan Rice also, although there's another one here, like a running back that I like, that everybody liked, that I didn't scout, but I saw him and I'm like, oh man, this dude looks legit. What's his name? Tracy? Oh, he's not even here. Tracy from, I think, Purdue? But anyways, let's... Ray Davis, another guy I haven't scouted, but I've heard a lot of good things, and he's tested pretty well. So that's it. No more changes. I'll probably do like a 4-round ranking like in the middle of free agency once the first rush is over. But that's it. See you on the next one. Peace.